guys, so this video is going to be unique, maybe, I think. It's a follow-up to my video that was a review of the Litter Robot 4, which I made a couple of weeks ago, maybe a month ago. That was a totally unscripted, impromptu review of the Litter Robot 4. I'll link it below in case you missed it. This one is somewhat similar, except I did take some notes for this one just to make sure that I included everything I wanted to. So this is sharing some ways that you can help transition your cat into a litter robot or any automatic litter box or any new litter box, but in this case it's specific to litter robot. I'm doing something a little different with this video to incorporate the fitness part of Cat Lady Fitness, and over there I'm going to pop in and do, let's say 5 squats. I was gonna say 10, but let's say 5. I think 5 will be realistic for a lot of you guys. Every time you see me pop over on that edge, unless you're driving, I mean, let's be intelligent about this, but every time you see me pop over there and do 5 squats, I want you to do 5 squats with me. And that way you can see how easy it is to actually get active if you feel like you've been slacking, or if you feel like this is some motivation you need. All you have to do is get up and do it. And if you're unsure about your form, if you are a little worried that it's not going to go well for any reason, then you can do box squats, which means you just sit and stand in a squat position from a chair. So I will also show you an example of that on the bench over there, perhaps, and what that looks like if you're sitting. I invite you to do it with me and tell me in the comments if you do, because by the end of this video, you will have done 40 squats at least. If you want to be, you know, a little overachieving, then go ahead and do 10 squats every time, but I'm just going to do 5. So hopefully there are no excuses. So please do them with me. And if you like it, let me know in the comments as well, because then I will make sure to do something like this for every video. So it's kind of like 2 birds with 1 stone situation. You get a little workout in and you get a little education. There you go. Okay, so here are my tips to help you to get your cat to transition into a litter robot 4. First of all, I'll be transparent in that Puppy, my OG kitty, king of the house, house lion Puppy, jumped in no problems. He was like, what is this, a new litter box? There's litter in it. Just hopped in, christened it immediately with a good poop, and hopped out. He's like, cool, got it. This is where I go now. Great. The other cats, the one that was just his personality is a little more skeptical. He was skeptical. All of the cats were curious though, because they're cats and cats are curious. So the first thing you want to do, if you can, is keep your old litter box or your current litter box and just put the litter robot right next to it. If you can't fit it right next to it, that's okay. Just replace it with the litter robot and then I'll give you some tips on what to do. But first things first, you want to put the litter robot kind of where they're used to going already. And if you're trying to move your litter box to a different location, then I would do that progressively. So I would slowly, kind of like every day, move it to that new location, just slowly kind of inching it over, or slowly moving it to the other side of the room, then the hallway, then the next room where it's gonna go. If you feel like your cat is very particular and like they will somehow show you that they're unhappy in ways that are unfavorable. If you have an easy cat that, you know, will just go wherever the litter box is, this is not an issue for you. So first things first, put your litter robot next to or right by where your current litter box is. If you don't have the space to do that, just go ahead and follow these next steps. That said, I do have a series of 2 or 3 shorts about litter boxes, not necessarily even a litter robot or automatic, but about litter boxes and different tips and things that are important to know if you're new to kitties in general or just want that extra little snippet of advice. I'll link those as well in the description or the comment of this video. So the second tip to get your kitty to transition smoothly into the litter robot is to remove that shield that's up front. I got the smaller version. I want to replace it with the larger or, you know, higher version just to stop that litter from coming out, especially for my one kitty. If you have one, like my Ronin, he plays in it like it's a sandbox and just likes to shovel the litter out. So if you have a cat like that, those shields are incredibly helpful. But When you're first bringing it to your house, to make it more easily accessible, maybe less intimidating if you have a timid kitty, just remove it. You can just pop it right off and put it to the side. Tip number 3, which you're gonna wanna kind of do all of these 1, 2, and 3 at once. Tip number 3 is to take some of the litter from the used current litter box, and you wanna put that into the litter robot. You wanna put it on top of the litter that you already have on there, or if you had enough kitty litter in your current or old box to just like fill the litter robot to that line, because there is a line in it and that's exactly where your litter needs to go, then that's what you want to do. That way they're familiar with the smell and they'll be more likely to go use the litter robot because it smells like they've been using it already. And with that is my next tip. Tip number 4 is to just stop cleaning the old litter box / old litter boxes. Cats are cleanly creatures, we know this. They want to use a clean litter box. Some you may have noticed, and if you didn't know this, they may act out or spray or pee or poop potentially. Knock on wood, I'll find it in other places. This hasn't happened to us, but I've heard of it and helped people with this. If their cats do that in other places, sometimes it's just because their litter box isn't cleaned out frequently enough, which you always want to do it every day, regardless to how many cats you have. If you have multiple cats, you'll do it multiple times a day. I speak about this in the tips in those shorts videos about litter boxes. That said, if you keep that old litter box there, stop cleaning it so much, and then make sure that you cycle the litter robot, which I'll tell you about in a second, that will also make your kitty less likely to use that old crappy one, pun intended, I guess, and then to use the bougie new litter robot. So this whole time, and this is tip number 5 on what you want to do, or step number 5, I should say, you are keeping the litter robot off. It's not going to be turned on, and there's that button on top. It's the very first button that looks just like a power button. Just make sure that it is turned off so that your cats aren't potentially freaked out by it automatically cycling yet, since you're just trying to get them into it, just trying to get them familiar with using it. You're just going to cycle it manually. So hit the cycle button. You're going to cycle it manually after they step out of it, and you'll notice that they'll probably be curious and looking into it as it's cycling to see what's going on, because what's happening with its bathroom toilet place, it's moving on its own. That's crazy. So do that, keep it off, turn it on just to cycle it, and then turn it back off. Do that until you're confident that your cat is going to use it on its own, and you'll be able to gauge it. You know your kitties, we have that intuition. So I would give it at least a couple of days, if not a full week, if you want to really ensure that your cat is comfortable with it. But make sure it watches you cycle it so that it kind of sees what's happening and just becomes more familiar with the entire machine. Hey guys, as I was editing, so a little bit of an outfit / maybe atmospheric change, but I realized I forgot to include one of the most important tips, maybe the most impactful important tip, and that is to make sure that you positively reinforce your kitty anytime that it does use the litter robot or automatic litter box. We're going with litter robot for this. You want to just, whatever your kitty's love language is, you want to give it its treats or cuddles or love or whatever it may be, and just like a baby, you know, or a toddler. I don't know how genius your kids are, but just like your little person, when they go use the potty, typically they get like a parade celebration afterwards. So do the same for your kitty in the way that he or she feels loved, and that will make a huge difference in the progress, because they'll recognize this is a good thing to do. Not only that, I wanted to mention some people talk about putting treats to get them to go into it, like around on the step or the border of the entryway. I'm not a huge fan of that, so you can also do that if you like, but I don't think it's necessary. Speaking of treats, I do have a homemade kitty treat recipe that's on catladyfitness.com, but I digress. Back to the video. I'm gonna give you 2 more tips because we have to do some more squats. So here is tip number 7, once the machine is on, the litter robot is on and doing its thing, you can go into the app and you can manually choose how long you want the cycle to be delayed. I think I mentioned this in my review video that I like to set mine to no less than 7 or 12 minutes, the higher end, and that's because I have multiple kitties and they tend to use it one right after the other, so there's really no point, and it's almost kind of an aversion for the next one to use it if it starts cycling too quickly and they have to go. I would set it at that to start, again, so that your cat has an opportunity to hop out and just know that it is not going to suddenly start moving with the cat still in there, which it wouldn't anyway because it has sensors, and when it weighs a cat in there, it does not cycle and it pauses. It's very, very good at that. That's just a little tip, just to make sure you have that longer cycle when you do have it on and set up to do it automatically. And my last tip or thing that I want to mention that I believe I have a video about that I made years ago, but I might have to make a refresher. If your cat in general, whether it's with the litter robot, a new litter box, automatic litter box, regular one, whatever, but if you notice they start getting an aversion to using it and getting hesitant to use it, maybe going in other places, first and foremost, you want to make sure it isn't a health issue, which oftentimes it may be when it comes to bladder, urinary issues, things that cats commonly have, specifically cats that have a poor diet. Fortunately, I believe it's a lot due to having fed our cats all a raw cat food diet. They don't have any urinary or dehydration or, knock on wood again, health issues that fall into this category. However, that said, if you notice they have an aversion and you've already confirmed and ruled out that it's not a health issue, check and see, because it could be an environmental issue. I've helped tons of people or suggested where they couldn't figure it out, and it ends up it's because the litter box was too close to a washer or dryer, for example, that freaked the cat out once because it was so loud, or the cat just does not like how loud that machine is and won't use the litter box because it's too close to it. Or there was one other time where I think a ladder fell or something loud happened next to the litter box, and when the cat was in it, to where he was so freaked out that he didn't want to use it anymore. So they moved the ladder, I think, or the litter box, one of the two, and then everything was fine. So just keep that in mind with the placement of your litter box or litter robot. And why not? I'm going to throw in 10 squats again because, I mean, I'm talking. If you happen to catch my last video, it was discussing the dangers of these off-brand white label, specifically the litter boxes that look kind of squarish and shut into themselves. Don't get those. Do your diligent research before just investing in the cheapo or, you know, cut corner price type automatic litter box. They are very, very hazardous, and you just don't want that risk with the stories I've heard. If you do want to check out the litter robot, unless you have one already, which I'm guessing you might if you're at this video, but if you don't and you want to check it out, I'll leave a link in the description below. You can check it out, also the pinned comment. Let me know how these tips worked out for you, and let me know if you did them with me, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Okay, bye.